kind of got that old Western feel, you know, Pard?
Ooh, wow, happy birthday. Ooh, wow, celebrate. We've been waiting a year to celebrate with you. That day is finally here, and so we sing for you. Ooh, wow, celebrate.
My brother was a Navy pilot during the war and was injured and came to Glenwood and was in the Naval Hospital here. Fell in love with the area, decided that he wanted to move here, talked my father into selling out in Fort Collins and moved the whole family over here. Our ski area that we started was, after the hill opened for the first time, we had a contest about what to name this area. And Johnny Benzel, who was a local kid, probably in junior high at the time, came up with the name Holiday Hill. It was a very small ski area run with just a rope tow. And the rope tow was powered by, I think, a 1935 Dodge pickup. They managed to get up the hill somehow and set up, somehow with the rope tow went up around dual wheels, around some other wheels, around the other set of dual wheels. It worked great. For that time, we had great crowds. And a great crowd there might have been 100 skiers, you know. And we ran just weekends. The reason that Holiday Hill went away is because some local people decided that they would put money into and reopen the Red Mountain ski area, which is downtown Glenwood. But Holiday Hill has to close before we'll agree to do that. Well, my brother and father, I was just a high school kid at the time. My brother and father fought that. City Council had stars in their eyes, and they begged us to close Holiday Hill. And finally, my brother and father gave in.
High school, graduated in 1955, also with my wife, LeWeLLYN. And skiing to us was something new. It was starting in Aspen. It was also in Glenwood Springs because her uncle started the Red Mountain ski area in Glenwood. And it was a super ski area, even though they told us it'll never last because it's just not going to have the snow. Well, it turned out that was true, but not when we were in high school. We had tremendous snow in 53, 4, 5, 56. So that's where we really learned. John Higgs came in to the scene and said, Sunlight, according to the Forest Service, is going to be a great place to ski. So I'd like to start it. I'd like to have a lot of community involvement and community investment in it, and it turned out we did.
I gave him a lot of names, like Floyd Demos and Bill Geib and Carter Jackson and a lot of the guys that ended up being stockholders. And then he went out and sold us stock.
Don VANDERHOOF and I kind of split a package because we didn't have the money to go with a full package, but we did.
With our package, we got, I think, 4 lifetime passes.
And probably the most important thing, because it turned out the investment really meant an investment for Glenwood in our area and for our family and children more than anything else.
One of his main stockholders was a gentleman from Newcastle, Colorado, named Hank Williams. And that's not Hank Williams, the singer, but it's Hank Williams from Williams Electric Shave. And he was an heir to Williams Electric Shave, and he was the dollars behind Sunlight. Really, besides the ski area, he bought up a lot of the land in the base area, and also bought the Sunlight Inn, which at that time was called the Apple Inn.
I think it was 1989. My friend learned that the majority of the stock for Sunlight was in a trust held by the children of the late Hank Williams. And a bank was trying to sell it, and the bank was soliciting people to bid on it. And we worked on it and put together a bid. And he was the person with the money, and we might have been the only bidders. I don't know, but we ended up owning the stock, and he also had an opportunity at that time, had the option to buy over 200 acres that was surrounding the base area, and he exercised that. Well, the great thing about Sunlight, I think, is its size and that it appeals to families because it's only got one base area. When you put your kids on the mountain, you know when at some point in time they're going to come back down to the base area. The fact that in this community, I believe probably there is very, very few families that someone hasn't worked at Sunlight or skied there, and so the whole community is involved with Sunlight, and I think has been forever and hopefully will be forever.
In 1966, this building was built. Demos Construction, that was me and my dad Adolf, who ended up being a great skier up into his 80s. When we were building this building, we had kind of a neat thing happen. We discovered, as we excavated, a large stream of water. It was all subterranean. We obviously knew that it went down underneath and down to the creek, but we had to funnel it and get it out from it. And it was a good stream of water. So that's something that probably nobody remembers. Think about Sunlight and 50 years. The first thing that comes to mind is it can't be 50 years. And I think as time goes by, that's kind of a common feeling for many people when they look back a number of years. But Sunlight has really endured a lot of great times and a lot of very, very tough times, very tough financial times. But it has always had people that believed in it and stuck with it and made it a success that it is today. So from that, you've got to say happy. You've got to say, happy birthday, Sunlight.
We skied at Sunlight the first day that Sunlight opened.
So far, there have been 3 generations here skiing here, and come this next Christmas, grandchildren will make it 4th generation.
Well, I grew up on the ski team here, and then I was a ski patroller here for a number of years. My son here is on the ski school, and so it's always been a part of our family. Nancy's sons have worked here. My father was part of the original ownership group way back when. We estimate that we have skied about 700 seasons with 25 people in the family.
Summer of '67, they have an ad in the paper. You come up to Sunlight and you cut brush from 8 to 4. We'll give you lunch, and then we'll give you lunch, or you can work the afternoon shift. Cutting brush, and we'll give you a comp ticket for a half-day work. And I thought, oh boy. I worked up 12 passes. And in the process, the guys that were cutting with me were ski patrolmen. I started asking them, how do you guys, well, I mean, you don't make much money. Well, no, we don't do it for the money, we do it for the fun and to help people. But they said, we do have a volunteer ski patrol. Well, how do you get on that, I was asking. Well, first you got to get advanced first aid. Well, how do you do that? So the next thing is, well, where do I start? Well, where's my coat? Oh, wait a minute, you're a volunteer. This was my identification. There's a Star of David, I think they call it. It says right on there, Sunlight Ski Patrol. We did not have anything that identified us with Sunlight, period, except this little bitty pin. You get to the scene of the accident and they'd look at you like, what's this? Well, I'm a ski patrolman. No, I want a real ski patrolman. Lee Morgan was the general manager at that time for Sunlight. I was the number 7 patroller at Sunlight. I started talking to Lee that summer. Anyway, we ended up getting coats, so we had to pay for it. They were $50 a piece, so we had to get our own patrol belt, all our supplies, and we had a little A-frame on top at Compass Peak on top of Sunlight. But the paid patrol wouldn't let the volunteers in there because it wasn't very big. You guys stay outside, you guys go do this. But anyway, and then we started organizing and recruiting, and we built that patrol up to what it is today. I mean, Sunlight is still Sunlight. It doesn't get any better.
Actually, I was lucky enough to ski at Sunlight before it was even open to the public. A birthday party when I was in 5th grade for Patty Jackson. And I didn't ski at the time, so I got to ride in the Cat. They took everybody up to the top of the mountain in the Snow Cat. They all skied Blue, which is now Joslyn, all the way down, and met at the bottom and had a birthday party. So, and then of course, the year after that, the Milsteins were our neighbors in West Glenwood, so I think they may have had something to do with the fact that I got to learn to ski. Our family didn't have enough money really for that, but somehow that was arranged, and the first year I broke my leg between the dips on Ute, and Patty Jackson broke her leg the week before and Sam Campbell broke his the week before. We're all in the same 6th grade class, so they put us on the aisle with our casts sticking out. I started patrolling as a junior national when I was a teenager, and when I wasn't on my patrol days, we skied like they still do here at Sunlight in a big batch of kids. It was a wonderful place to grow up and a very safe environment at Sunlight for everyone. So my kids all learned to ski and ski raced here at Sunlight. I love Sunlight. I always recommend it's the safest place to leave your kids because they'll always end up at the bottom.
Melissa and I came in 1985 in October, and I ran the retail shop, the rental shop, ticket office, nursery, and food and beverage. Tom was in Juneau, Alaska running a ski area, and I called him and told him about the job. He flew down and got hired, and that's kind of how we got Sunlight.
25-year-old out of Glenwood Springs, Colorado. This is Alice McKennis.
Sunlight was the very first resort I skied at, and I just want to wish Sunlight a very happy 50th birthday this year. Have fun out there.
This hill has the best giant slalom hill in the division. It's been the host of national championship events at youth ski levels. It has a wonderful and marvelous ski racing history of which the ski area should be justifiably proud. It is a support that as a ski racing guy, I find just wonderful.
Tom J. took a chance on me and hired me, and I gotta say that still, out of all the jobs prior to that and that I've had after that, this is still my favorite place to have worked. That's kind of emotional. And I think that that's all because of Tom J. His leadership is still the thing I think that gives Sunlight that same feeling even today.
It's been a great place for me, great place for my family. Sunlight is, been 30 years of my life, raised my family, my kids have grown up here. I look forward to grandkids being on this mountain. The community has been so warm and encouraging and has supported Sunlight. So with that, happy 50th Sunlight Mountain Resort.
Happy birthday, it's your birthday.